Hello, everybody, and welcome to Connor Sports Talk. Vancouver re-signed Bo Horvat. It's about time, really. So, the contract consists of a 6-year deal worth $33 million in total, and which is $5.5 million per year. So, in my opinion, it's a fairly good contract. I don't know, they're a rebuilding team, obviously, and he's a major player that you want to keep around for a while. I mean, he should be the second line center, one can assume. He may play first next year, but ideally he should be your second line center. But he also had fairly decent stats. Like, he isn't like a real scorer. He did have 20 goals last year, but again, shouldn't be your number one center. But still a very key building block for Vancouver to eventually become a contender again. And they're most likely gonna get there. I mean, here's hoping. I mean, they never won a Stanley Cup, so I'm not the biggest fan of Vancouver, but I kind of want them to win a Stanley Cup. But let's look at his stats. So his rookie year in 2014-15, in 68 games, he had 25 points. 13 of those were goals and 12 assists. In 2015, in 82 games, he had 40 points. 16 of those were goals, 24 of those were assists. And then his contract year, he had 52 points. 20 of those were goals, 32 of those were assists. So, again, pretty good numbers. Should be a number 2 center, though, not a number 1 center. At least in my mind. And definitely not for a contender. But like I said before, this is a very important step for Vancouver to become a contender
I can't
again.
connect to your Wi-Fi network. You can reconnect to Wi-Fi from your Google Home app when your device has been set up.
Sorry about that. So he's the fourth most paid player on Vancouver now, behind the Sedins and Louis Eriksson. So I believe that Louis Eriksson signed a 6-year deal or a 5-year deal or something like that last year. And I believe he only had, 20 points last year. So that's pretty bad. And then the Sedins are old. So he's probably the most important player on the roster right now for the future. And honestly, Vancouver should be rebuilding 2-3 years longer. I mean, one can assume they're going to be a top 5 draft pick team. Yeah, they signed a decent amount of veterans. I mean, low tier veterans, obviously. A lot of people are complaining about how they're not setting their roster up for the rookies. Honestly, I kind of agree with the team because you shouldn't pencil in a rookie for you to make the roster right away. A rookie should earn the roster and kind of give the spot to the veteran until he loses that spot. I mean, yeah, there's a case if there's like let's say a top 3 pick in a strong draft. Yeah, you want him right away, most likely to play the majority of the year. But again, you don't want to rush the players because some of them are 18, 19, they're teenagers. And if you rush them too quickly, it kind of destroys their progression and self-esteem. And well, again, that hurts their progression, and it kind of ruins what they could have been if they would have stayed in the minors or junior league or whatever. So I agree what Vancouver's doing. So, what does it mean for these guys? Maybe this pushes Denver Pastrnak to sign the contract kind of soon, hopefully. Because Bo Horvat Leon Draisaitl, and David Pastrnak were the three big restricted free agents for the past 2 months or something. David Pastrnak is the only guy left standing. And I believe it's September 14th is when camp starts. And ideally, David Pastrnak will be signed by then. And I really don't understand why Boston hasn't done it yet. But enough of David Pastrnak. So yeah, again, I agree with this contract a good bit. I mean, the cap's gonna rise, obviously. I mean, hopefully, it all depends on the Canadian dollar. Well, not all of it, obviously, but the Canadian dollar plays a gigantic part in it. So, I really agree on this contract. Should have got done a lot quicker. At least Vancouver has something to look forward to. I'm not saying that he's going to be an elite player. Like I said before, a good number 2 center. And that's what all contenders need. They need depth at center. Eventually, he can play a third line, maybe. I believe Vancouver drafted a center last year. I didn't look up his name. But again, like I said before, very good player. Deserving of the contract. So what does this mean for Vancouver right now? Honestly, just security, really. And we'll just kind of hope for the future, really. So yeah, Vancouver drafted center Elias Patterson, 5th overall last year, or last draft, whatever you want to call it, 2017 draft. So eventually, you would think that he would be the number 1 center over Sedin. Obviously, both Sedins are old. Let's see how old they are, because I think they're like 32 or something, 33. Okay, yeah, I was way off. Henrik Sedin's 36. Obviously, Daniel Sedin's also 36. They're twins, for people who don't know. So, how long can you expect them to play? 1 or 2 more years? They're kind of slowing down, obviously. I believe Daniel Sedin reached his 1,000th point last year. Possibly both of them. I didn't really Google that. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this video. Thank you.